Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be painting white cherry blossoms in watercolor, starting with pencil, then marker and at last with watercolor. I hope you enjoy it. As some of you read on a post I shared on Instagram earlier, I was in need to take distance and make a pause from commissioned works. The anonymous advice from you guys was to take a walk outside, so I did. And I am really thankful for all the support that you showed me there. Thank you so much, guys. As you will see in the next spring vlog, I was really inspired by flowers, and yes, I know, what an unusual topic for the season, but since I have never seen this kind of flowers before, I was completely obsessed with them. I didn't know what kind of flower was this, so I asked a friend and she told me these are called white cherry blossoms. I am also preparing another video about the differences between painting outside and painting at the studio. To make those videos, I have asked some colleagues on social media to share their experiences and what kind of stimuli affect them to prefer one option or the other. This time I chose to bring the flowers and the samples to my studio so I could sketch them in a more comfortable area. The starting point of our sketch is to trace the most basic figure, in this case a circle, that is the flower bud. We trace its center from the receptacle of the flower and draw the growth of the petals following the curved and organic form. I chose not to use photographs or other digital images as references because I wanted to familiarize myself with the volume and the texture of the object, achieving a figure as close as the real model as possible. Once I practiced it with the flower buds, it was a little bit easier for me to understand how they open the petals. To sketch the open flower, it takes more circles depending on how many levels of petals it has, but it follows the same formula. We start from the inner center outwards, from the ovary and the stamen, curving the smaller petals and drawing medium to large for the outer circles, each time more extended as the bloomed flower opens. While I was painting this, my mind was wandering. Maybe drawing petal by petal feels like a mantra, like tracing a mandala in a way. It requires you to get loosened, to relax and flow through the details. You can use a single flower to make as many studios as possible, just by flipping it and drawing as many as you like. This is like visually exhausting the object in order to internalize it on your mind, so that you can learn to draw these flowers, and at some point you will be able to draw them without looking at a reference image. You may be wondering about the choice of the music in the background. This piece is The Waltz of the Flowers by Tchaikovsky, and as you will notice, it starts very simple and slow. As the melody goes on, more instruments are added and the pace accelerates until it becomes more complex and produces kind of explosions. I don't know about you guys, but I need to listen to the right kind of music in order to paint a specific painting, to achieve certain colors, compositions, shapes. The music affects me so much that if I am not listening to the right music while I am painting, it creates some kind of noise, something that doesn't go quite right. So I was talking about this with another friend on Instagram, and she also listens to classic music to create abstract paintings in order to achieve certain expressions or effects of the colors on the canvas. It was really interesting to find someone that also uses music to create paintings and to share this feedback. How is it for you? Have you tried to do the same? Painting or writing or making sculptures while hearing to music? You can choose to use any brush you want, but I am going to show you guys how I use this kind of wet brush, which you just simply fill it with water, and it is amazing because you can use it wherever you go. I often take it with me whenever I travel, up in the airplane, to the park, to the beach, everywhere. This wet brush can be a little bit tricky to use because as you take some watercolor pigment, the water mixes with the pigment and makes it more transparent. In the same way, this is how you also clean the brush. So that is why it is better to start from the darkest point of the flower, which is the center, and then go around to the brighter zones of the outside petals. The more you use this wet brush, the more you'll get better at it. So be patient with yourself and try just to have fun, exploring all the effects that you can achieve with it. As you can hear in the background, this is why I was mentioning Tchaikovsky earlier. You will notice the music is at its fastest pace and getting more complex and dynamic, perfect to finish this painting with watercolor flowers. As a final detail, I just traced with markers some parts of the flowers because I would like to have some kind of focus point, but you can just leave it with the colors if you like. This was just a personal choice I made. If this video inspired you to paint or you have more inquiries, let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you want me to check your drawings, tag me in your posts so that I can have a look on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. This video is going to be an open sample of how some of my next videos will be like on Patreon, if you would like to join me there as well. I will be making my Patreon's announcement as soon as I have prepared the channel for you guys. So see you in the next videos. Bye!